In 2020, Xiao Qiji, the zoo's little miracle, brought much-needed joy in an uncertain and difficult time.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the animals that were saved from going extinct. We'll explore what efforts were made by humans to help conserve them, even if their status is still dicey.
Buffalo make a perfect metaphor for what we're missing, what's going extinct every year.
Number 10. West Indian Ocean Coelacanth. In the 1800s, the coelacanth group of fish was believed to have been long extinct, since scientists had only seen their fossils.
The coelacanth is distantly related to the ancestor of tetrapods.
Yet, in 1938, South African museum curator Marjorie Courtney Latimer had an ongoing deal with local fishermen to report unusual catches to her. And they just happened to find a coelacanth.
Once thought to have died out with the dinosaurs.
With the help of her friend ichthyologist J.L.B. Smith, the duo named the species Latimeria columnae, better known as the West Indian Ocean Coelacanth. Due to their elusive nature, it's tricky to know how many exist, but to help preserve them, in 2002, the South African government created the Coelacanth Program for 10 million rand, around $890,000 US. In 2016, the coelacanth was added to the U.S. Endangered Species Act. Number 9. DeWinton's Golden Mole. Named after zoologist William Edward DeWinton, the DeWinton's golden mole only had one known habitat within the sands of Port Nolloth, South Africa. However, the species seemingly vanished as it hadn't been seen since 1937. In 2017, a drive to locate the moles kicked off, leading to a survey in 2021 to find them. Yet in 2023, after 2 years of looking, and with the aid of sniffer dog Jessie, conservationists discovered the golden mole in the dunes. However, mining in the area has been threatening their habitat. Yet, with proof of the mole's existence and the suggestion that there's a healthy population of them, agencies are looking to implement an environmental impact assessment to protect the species from developers. Number 8. Gould's mouse. Since Europeans set foot on Australia, bringing with them a host of invasive predators, it resulted in the extinction of numerous native mammals, with rodents especially harmed. One such victim was believed to be Gould's mouse. After all, the rodents hadn't been documented since around 1857. However, in 2021, scientists compared the DNA samples of the Gould's mouse to the Shark Bay mouse, also known as the Jungari.
It's called the Shark Bay mouse, and is so rare that little is known about it.
They found that they were the same, and the animals were thriving on an island off the East Australian coast. Shortly before this incident, a host of Shark Bay mice were reintroduced to Dirk Hartog Island as part of an ecological restoration program known as the 1616 Conservation Project.
Very wary of open areas, it moves around in networks of runways that it establishes under low vegetation.
Number 7. Bermuda Petrel. For sailors in the 1500s and 1600s, the Bermuda Petrel, or cahao, was a common sight in the seas near the island. However, overhunting by Europeans and the introduction of invasive predators seemingly caused the species to vanish in 1620.
Nearly 1 million of them flourished at one time.
However, in 1951, after one adult perished flying into a lighthouse, Robert Murphy, Louis Mowbray, and teenager David Wingate discovered 18 nesting pairs.
That's when ornithologist Dr. David Wingate embarked on a rescue mission. His first act, to make these last birds on Earth a safe home.
Wingate became a big reason the petrels were saved from extinction after he became the first conservation officer of Bermuda. He helped instigate the island's conservation and recovery program in 1960. In 2018, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN, stated that there were 196 mature petrels and their population is increasing. However, they're still considered endangered.
The cahao shows that even a species that was written off completely for 3.5 centuries can make a comeback.
Number 6. Rodriguez flying fox. On the Mauritian island of Rodriguez, their native flying fox, also known as the Rodriguez fruit bat, is one of the environment's most vital pollinators and seed distributors.
I like the bats especially because they are they're very beautiful when you see them in the wild.
Studies have found that without them, native plants may struggle to survive. Due to the impact of tropical storms and overhunting, the number of flying foxes has dwindled. According to the IUCN, in 1979, only around 70 of them were left on Rodriguez. Led by the Durrell Wildlife Conservation Trust, many zoos around the world began captive breeding programs to save the Pteropus rodriguensis, while other groups have focused efforts on Rodriguez and its inhabitants. In 2016, there were believed to be 20,000 mature Rodriguez flying foxes in existence.
Last bat count, last year, last November, it was around 25,000. And they are recreating the forest.
Number 5. Galapagos Tortoise. Made famous by Charles Darwin, the Galapagos tortoise is actually a species that has many subspecies. However, 2 are extinct, while many others saw their numbers fall drastically.
It's not just the future of giant tortoises that's at stake. These reptiles play a vital role in the whole ecosystem here.
The San Cristobal giant tortoise was estimated to have a population of up to 700 in the 1970s. Due to conservation efforts, in 2016, there were 2,950 mature adults.
With this, we can recover various tortoise populations.
Another threatened species is the Pinson Island giant tortoise. On top of human exploration, the introduction of rats on the island decimated the population. In 1965, a conservation program was instigated to transport eggs to be hatched in safe conditions. When older enough, they're reintroduced to Pinson Island to continue their lives.
This giant tortoise hasn't seen anyone for 100 years.
Number 4. American bison. You don't get much more USA than the American bison. In the late 1700s, there were millions of them roaming the country. Yet overhunting and purposeful extermination to hinder Native Americans meant only a few hundred existed by 1889.
Sometimes the animals would ebb and flow, but they always rebounded.
Massive conservation efforts have stopped the woods and plains species of the American bison from extinction, and the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN, estimated that in 2016 there were over 13,000 mature bison in the country.
American bison survived near extinction and are today considered a conservation success story.
The European bison also had their population decimated. In the UK, they were eradicated. However, in 2022, 3 bison were reintroduced in Kent, England. Shortly after, one surprised conservationists by giving birth. The first bison born in the country for thousands of years.
Once hunted almost to extinction, taking her first steps.
Number 3. Blue whale. With the invention of modern technology for whaling ships, it led to a massive 30,000 blue whales being hunted from 1930 to 1931 alone. At that startling rate, we could have lost the largest living animal on this planet.
A blue whale, 30 meters long and weighing over 200 tons.
However, humans eventually stepped up. By 1955, the International Whaling Committee began protecting the species in various oceans. And by 1966, blue whale hunting was completely outlawed. Yet, large cargo ships hitting them accidentally and underwater noise still threaten their numbers.
Despite the enormous size of blue whales, we know very little about them.
According to the IUCN, while blue whales are still listed as endangered, their population has increased. In 2018, there were believed to be up to 15,000 mature blue whales roaming the oceans.
We just jolly well can't find them. Oh, look! There is one.
Number 2. Bald eagle. The only creature that outdoes the American bison as the U.S.'s symbolic animal is the bald eagle.
Bald eagles can go talon to talon with the baddest of the birds.
Yet, if the 1900s had been different, we might have never seen the majestic bird again. In 1930, it was reported that the eagle was approaching extinction. One of the reasons was due to the overblown fear of the birds stealing livestock, or worse. As such, Alaska reportedly culled 70,000 of them within 12 years. But mixed in with pesticides weakening their eggs, pollution, and habitat destruction, it wasn't looking good. By 1940, the U.S. government began issuing legislation to protect the bald eagle. According to the IUCN, as of 2018, they are listed as least concern, with an increasing population.
In the 70s, there were believed to be just 2 bald eagles left in the entire state of New York. Now, there are well over 1,000.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Number 1. Giant panda. When it comes to animals battling extinction, the main one people think of is the giant panda.
Pandas eat bamboo. Lots of bamboo. Up to 40 pounds a day.
Due to the loss of habitat, hunting, and low birth rate, the outlook for the black and white bear seemed bleak. In one of China's surveys, the number of wild pandas was estimated to have fallen to 1,216 by 1988. Over the years, laws came in to protect them, as well as an increase in panda reserves. And while there was some success, the pandas needed additional help with breeding programs in zoos. In 2016, the IUCN stated pandas were no longer endangered, but vulnerable.
In 2016, giant pandas were removed from the endangered species list.
In 2021, the Chinese authorities announced their agreement on the assessment by claiming there were over 1,800 wild pandas.
They are a conservation success story for the whole world.
If you could bring back to life one extinct animal species, which would you choose? Let us know below.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.